What's happening, folks? Coach Johnson here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're going to go over some of our future plans with the HTK project. I am harder to kill. I'm harder to kick. I'm harder to knife. I'm harder to knock down. Whatever acronym works better for you. So one of the programs that I'm putting together is a combination program of the things we've been doing for all these years. So for 30 plus years, I've been teaching martial arts and self-defense. For over 25 years, I've been doing fitness as a profession, as well as as a passion of mine. And I've done obviously tons and tons of martial arts programs where people earn rank and learn skills and are better able to protect themselves. I've done tons and tons of fitness courses where people get in charge of their health and their fitness, and they lose weight and get healthier and get off medication and improve their blood chemistry and those kind of things. Over the years, a lot of people have really benefited from the training, whether it's physical, mental, and developed a mindset and a mentality that's stronger and more resilient and able to take on challenges and overcome them. What I haven't done is a challenge or a course that combines those things. And one of my friends has actually put together one of my business mentors has worked with another martial arts instructor that I know who's very talented, and put together a program kind of just like this. It's basically about leveling up your game as a guy, specifically, but stronger, healthier, more mentally sharp, less distractions, and I think that's amazing. My program is going to be, that I've been working on similar, I'm going to call it the Certified Badass Program. So it's HTK CBA. And now obviously it's a little tongue in cheek because everybody wants to be a badass, but you've probably seen the Certified Badass cards over the years. It's kind of it's a joke, but it's not really a joke, because what does being a badass mean? Does it mean that you're big and strong? Does it mean you can fight? Does it mean you can withstand the rigors of the life and come out ahead? Is it grit? It's all those things, in my opinion. And now you may have a different opinion. But for me, someone who's just a certified badass is somebody who is has taken charge of their health. They look the part. They may not be a model. You don't have to be a fitness model or Instagram influencer, but you got to look like you take care of yourself. You got to look like someone who's like, hey man, this guy or this girl puts the time in, and they actually make an effort to be healthier. Okay, so that's one thing. They got to be in shape. They have to be able to defend themselves, and more importantly, in my opinion, defend people around them. So their family, their friends, people who are weaker than themselves, and their community. And they got to have, I think this is probably the most important, they got to have the mental toughness to get up after they've been knocked down, to carry on when it's uncomfortable, when there's pain, when there's doubt, when there's fear. So for me, it's a combination of those three elements: fitness, self-protection, skill, mental toughness. Really, and I don't think that's too much in dispute. Now, there are lots of guys in this world, Western, our cultural world, who do programs like that. One of the first ones comes to mind is David Goggins. If you don't know who that is, amazing, influential person. Just a great story. I don't want to tell a story. You read the story, but David Goggins, amazing and influential individual. And there's lots of people who are in that same vein. What I found is the vast majority of people who have these self-improvement courses or these programs, if you will, whether it's an ongoing or it's a 6-week or it's a weekend warrior workshop, they tend to fall in a couple of different camps. One is mostly on the fitness part. You're like, hey, you know what? Don't be a fat slob. Get your ass off the couch. Go get in shape. Be there for your kids. Be the mom, be the dad that can go out and play with the kids when you're 45, 55, 65. Be the grandparent who can do these things. So this fitness strength tends to be one side of that equation, and I think that's probably the biggest sphere. The other camp they often fall into is more of a spiritual camp. It's a theological thing. It's Judaism, Christianity, Islam, whatever it is, and there's obviously benefits to having that kind of strength and unity and having that some cultural, spiritual glue, and level up, be a stronger person, be a better parent, be a better human being, be more understanding, be strong for your community. And that's really important. What I see, this, by the way, this might be a long video. I'm going to go on a couple of concepts that might detract from the main course, but I want to explain my policy here. What I find in this space, I've been for the last few years since the incident of 2020, is that I've done a lot of research into content creation because obviously we're all forced to do stuff via video if you want to communicate with members and if you want to communicate with your tribe, so to speak, and in martial arts in general and in the fitness world. And there's this really interesting concept that I see is about reach and content. It's a lot of the people maybe who are the first, the pioneers, if you will. Maybe they came up with this concept, whether it's martial arts or fitness or whatever, and they have a good message, but maybe they aren't the best at delivering it. Maybe they're too bombastic. Maybe they're too nice. Whatever it is, their messaging it might be valid, but it doesn't reach a lot of people. And what happens is people come along behind them or adjacent to them, and maybe they have a better communication skill set. Maybe they have a better medium. Maybe the OGs that wrote books and the new guys and new girls are on video, or they're on streaming, or they're doing like YouTube or social media, which is amazingly powerful and amazingly dangerous. But I see this a lot with the martial arts. I noticed this first in martial arts when I was coming up. You have these salty old guys, and I don't mean that derogatory, but they're back in my day we didn't have training pads and we kill each other in battle, neutral combat on the battlefield, whatever, and they would be really upset when a new content creator, in this case back then it was just someone opened a new school, and maybe they taught a similar style or they taught martial arts, but they were able to deliver the message to a larger group of people and have a larger audience. You get this things like, oh, those are all just McDojos and they don't teach real stuff. And there's some definite legit criticisms there. But what I see with the self-improvement sphere is kind of the same thing. A lot of people who have pioneered this and they have a message of being a better man, being a better woman, being there for your family, being there for your wife, being there for your husband, whatever the case might be, is they get passed up by somebody who is a similar or maybe the exact same message, and they have a better medium. They're better communicators. They understand marketing better. Remember, marketing is not advertising. Marketing is getting your message out to people, and specifically getting your message out to the right people. Now, if your goal is to make money, you want to hit people who can afford your product. If your goal is inspirational, you want to reach people who are ready to receive your message. Anyway, so I brought this up because I see this so often, like so-and-so gets upset and they're all angry because the new generation or somebody comes into their space, whether it's Instagram or YouTube or print or whatever, or they open a business similar and these guys are successful and I'm pissed off because it was my idea first, or maybe not that, or I was doing this 10, 15 years ago and I should be the one getting the credit for it. And now, that being said, if you are using concepts and techniques and systems that existed before, you should absolutely give credit to those who you learned from. And this is something I try to do as much. I've had so many awesome instructors in martial arts. I've had great mentors in fitness. I've had amazing inspirational figures in my personal journey to become a stronger, healthier person, that I don't ever pretend or claim that I created this stuff, whatever it is I produce. This is just my iteration of what the accumulation of my lifetime knowledge has brought me. So I want to make that clear. So any product, any program I put together, although it might be uniquely ours, didn't come from thin air and I just created it. It's an accumulation of knowledge that I've gained over decades and decades, and I want to share with you. All right, let's get back on track. So I just wanted to bring that up. So the CBA program, this is going to be really fun. Now, do I want to have a program that allows myself and our instructors to make a living? Absolutely. But it has to come from a place where I am wholeheartedly, definitely wanting our members to get the most benefit. I want them, if they spend $1,000, I want them to get $10,000 of value. I want them to wake up after the program is done and go, man, my life is 1,000 times better than it was before. I'm a new person, and by a new person, I mean a better version of who you were before. We're not a cult. We're not going to try to brainwash anybody, but you feel healthier, stronger, more focused, more resilient. And that is our mission. So the CBA program is just a fun way to get there. And it'll have parameters like, they'll have fitness parameters, self-protection parameters, mindset parameters, mentality, the warrior mentality, and there'll be levels to it. So obviously, a 26-year-old male is going to have a different ability skill set than a 45-year-old male. A 21-year-old female is going to have different abilities and different priorities than maybe a 35-year-old female. So each of the programs are going to be set up by, sex, male or female, because obviously a biological female is different than biological male as far as conditioning and fitness and whatnot, and also by age. So we'll have different levels of different categories, and then each categories have levels: level 1, level 2, level 3, etc. So what I don't want to do, and I see this a lot with all of these self-improvement programs, is they make the program so incredibly challenging that it's so overwhelming that only people who are have 1 foot on the path of self-improvement are even willing to take that next one, because it's like, wow, they're like, I'm out of shape. I haven't worked out in 15 years. I don't know how to, I don't know if I have the mental toughness to go through this. So they never even start on the journey. And I think that's a mistake, in my opinion. So I think there should be an introductory level where, look, man, here's where you are. Let's get you to this next step where you can feel good about yourself, your family. If you're a parent, your children look up to you. If you are a leader of some kind in the church, in the school, in your community, you now have leveled up your game as a communicator, as a leader, as an influencer. I guess that would be the word I want to use, because that's what's in vogue nowadays. So I want to make the first level achievable, yet still challenging. And there will be more challenges. So you can go, hey, I'm a level one badass, male category, age 26 to 35, whatever. I'm still working on that part, because I'd look at some data. This will be very scientific and see, what is expected of each group. And guys, I want to level up, and this will not be for everybody. Some folks are very happy being comfortable, being out of shape, using medications and drugs to placate their mentality, and that's cool for them. That's not what we're doing. So keep that in mind. But the CBA program is going to be a combination of self-protection, fitness, and mentality. And it's secular, so it's not tied to religion. So I don't care if you're an atheist, a Jew, a Christian, Muslim. I don't even care, because it's irrespective of that. You don't have to have a faith-based program to be strong. Now, many people are very successful at that. That's not what we're doing. We're not a church. We are a group of like-minded folks who want to improve the quality of our citizenship globally. Anybody who's in our tribe, we want them to level up. It will have a fitness component. Obviously, if you have a serious condition that's legit, your shoulder doesn't work, we'll work around that. It's something I've been doing a long time, guys. I've been doing training and coaching for many, many, many years. So working around these challenges is definitely something we're good at doing. So don't be concerned about that. The mentality stuff is going to be the fun stuff. And like when we teach Krav Maga, for example, I teach Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu, but Krav Maga is my bread and butter. A big part of the training in class isn't so much learning how to punch and kick and defend and do a choke defense and bear hug. It's about doing these things when you're uncomfortable, whether you're fatigued or distracted, and you can still pull them off. And this is where reality-based martial arts programs differ from like a traditional program most of the time. Traditional martial arts programs, the way they are now, tend to be very technical in focus. Learn this choreography, do these techniques, make sure your pinky's here, your big toe's there, your weight is moving here and there. And those are not unimportant things, don't get me wrong. But a lot of times the focus is so much on the technical execution and not on the real application. So that's going to be some part of our program. Now, also, there will be some virtual options. Now, that being said, at the higher levels, you're going to have some in-person participation. There's no way, in my opinion, again, we want to build a society that's better, not an individual in their basement. I want you to interact with our team, interact with me, interact with the coaches below me and the ones we bring in. And I want you to have an experience that's life-changing in a positive way. And it'll probably be uncomfortable. And that's part of the process. All right, that's a lot of information, folks. I hope you find some value in that. And if you're interested in joining the journey, you're in the right place. This video is posted primarily to the HTK I Am Harder to Kill project on Facebook. You might be seeing it on YouTube. You might be seeing it on some other platform. But I'm going to leave my email in whatever description you find. Please reach out to me if you don't have direct access to me now. Let's do this. My mission is to create a stronger, more resilient, healthier society. And that could be your neighborhood. It could be global. That's what I'm after. People who are self-reliant, take personal accountability, are striving to live a longer, happier life, and influence others to do the same. This is Coach Johnson. You guys have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you soon.